We want to welcome you. We are the Jollies. I'm Dr. Willie Jolley.
And I'm Dee.
Dee Taylor-Jolley, and we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We got a great marriage. We've been married for 36 years. Haven't had an argument in over 33 years. I still got the hots for her. I got the hots for her. I got the fire for her. She turns me on. 36 years. Woo!
Please stay focused.
I can't stay focused when you're so close to me. Anyway, I was on an interview. See, I'm going to say something nice.
You always say something nice to me.
I was on an interview this evening, and a guy asked me, what was my guilty pleasure? I said, my wife.
Oh, that'll give you lots of brownie points later on in the evening.
I like cheesecake, and I like chocolate cake, and I like Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Chunky Monkey. But my guilty pleasure, is this woman. Oh, yeah.
So you know that I am turned on by words, which is a form of my love language.
Senior Terrence, I was wondering where you were. Thank God for the Jollies. Thank God for what they teach married couples how to be thankful for each other and communicate. Thank you, Terrence.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
You guys travel safely for those who are taking to the roads and share words of appreciation and gratitude with the people you love.
Amen. Let's see. Darlene Davis from St. Louis. Good. So we are excited. So, last week was a super hot show. It was super duper hot.
Why do you say that?
Because we had to have part 2. Okay.
It just means that it was informative and we didn't have a chance to complete it.
Oh, there was a lot of dialogue. There was a lot of conversation.
There's such a difference in the two of us. He is
Okay,
so what was the topic? Let's get going. We're now
sex,
down to
headaches, and other lies. Taken from chapter number 8 in the book. Hope y'all got the book. If you don't have the book, get it today. Get 2 copies. Go to Jolly Marriage right now, or A Jolly Marriage, and get 2 copies of the book. Somebody did yesterday. They bought 2 copies, 2 workbooks, 2 books, 2 workbooks. We encourage you to get the whole bundle. 2 books, 2 workbooks, an audio book, and a CD seminar. Get it. Go get it. Now, let's talk about sex, money, communication, but sex, headaches, and other lies. Part 2. The book is based on sex, money, and communication, the 3 big boulders that break up marriages. But this is a message on, we're talking about the 5 marriage busters. We've been focused on that for a few weeks now. And first, let's go over what they were. Go ahead. She likes to do the research.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. You came up with the top 5 marriage busters.
Marriage busters.
And we had covered communication, finances,
and
then sex. And then sex, we decided to use the chapter, sex, headaches, and other lies. So just very quickly, when we say communication, the lack of understanding how your partner actually conveys information.
Okay.
And that's by word, by deed, by body language.
Okay.
Right? And there are 4 basic, some say there are 3 basic styles of communication. Which one are you? You're either aggressive, you're passive aggressive, or you're assertive. And assertive is the one that we all want to be, which simply means, here are the facts, nothing but the facts. This is what I think. This is what I'm feeling. And I respect that you have feelings and that those feelings or your interpretation of the facts might be different than mine. And so there's mutual respect and there's dialogue back and forth until you come to a conclusion. But the key is that you're honest with each other in terms of the information and what you're feeling.
Ooh, that's good. Now, that's actually, that's really, really good. Assertive. I didn't know that one. I knew the passive. I knew the aggressive, passive aggressive. I didn't know about assertive. That was
assertive is just being honest and straightforward.
Okay, well,
which is how we want to be in our relationships.
Amen. Terrence said, get 10 copies for Black Friday for Christmas. Amen, Terrence. I'm with you on that. And bless 10 couples.
And bless 10 couples.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, later on, not now, but I'm also reading about that Harvard University did a study that started in 1938. It started in 1938, and there are like 60 people who are alive today. The oldest one is 90-some years old, and they started this study in 1938 to say, what are the primary keys to healthy living?
Really?
There was something on CNN. Of course, I started.
All she needs is a little seed, and she goes for researching and she's sending me stuff all day. I'm trying to work, make money.
Okay. So one of the things that we're going to look at later, which ties into this, the Harvard research study said that relationships are one of the keys to a healthy, long life. Other than the diet, right? Other than your overall physical health, that your relationships are one of the top 3 in helping you live a longer, more sustained life. And that if you would notice that people who are single for long periods of time, who are just single, many of them have animals. They have animals because it helps with that, what they call that oxytocin, that love. It brings out the love, the caring. And when you have love and caring for another, and that other gives that love and caring to you, you live longer.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So that's just part of the study that I'm reading about.
That's good.
Now,
that's good.
Because that reinforces the whole concept of, not just being in a relationship, just having a warm body, but somebody who cares about you and that you care about, which is what we're saying that marriage is all about.
Well, good marriages, that's what it's all about, that you care about somebody.
Good marriages, what good marriages are all about. And what we all want.
I hope they want it, but I got it. I got it. I got it.
Okay. So the top marriage busted that we talked about 2 weeks ago was communication. So we got that. And we all want to be assertive, because assertive says that I'm able to share with you what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and I'm able to receive from you. And we work it through so that we have a symbiotic, is that the right word? Back and forth relationship, and that we love.
Terrence said, God said it's not good for man to be alone. That's true. That there's something special happens when you with somebody that you like being with, that you enjoy being with. Something inside of you that is you can
achieve more.
But you're released into your bloodstream. It's like endorphins. Okay, just to be able to be around people you really like being around. I dig being around you. Number two
was finance.
Finances.
And the problem with finances.
Woo-hoo.
And the number one challenge with finances was that we have different money personalities. Now,
and we don't talk about
it. This doesn't come up before. A lot of
you would think this would come up before, but you know what?
But it really didn't come up before we got married.
No, I was going to say
that. But I knew that you were cheap.
Okay, good.
So it was like, I wasn't a spendthrift. Is that the one who spends all the money? Because I already knew that you were cheap.
Yeah.
And I had already...
Frugal is the word.
All right, let's be honest. It was cheap.
How cheap?
And I had already gone through a bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And you remember that, right?
I remember that.
I had gone through a bankruptcy because this is why financial education is, oh my God, it's so important. Because I went through a bankruptcy because I owed $600. I got to say it because it's the truth. Tell the truth, shouldn't double. I had filed bankruptcy because I had a $600 bill to American Express. Is that just like...
You know what it was?
I needed you.
You needed me in real life. That once you had me in life, we started just sharing information about finance. You would think, former school teacher, what? I had a $600 debt and I filed bankruptcy. Okay, because you didn't know.
I did not.
And you didn't have me to help you.
And I did not have you in my life.
And once we got it together, we got it together.
Yes. So, problems financially, because you might have a different financial perspective.
Or different money personality. Or how you were raised about money.
A saver, a spender, an investor that I didn't know anything about, being indifferent. You have no clue about money, and a gambler. right?
That's right.
And those are the basic ones. Sometimes the terminology changes a little bit, but that's the basics as to
And
what's
then,
going on. And you might be a slight combination of the two. Wherein do you fit?
And most marriages that have financial problems are a result of too little, not too much, too little, or not knowing about the money. And then not having a conversation about how we're going to spend it. Had a conversation last week. We had a conversation since we last met with a guy who was about to flip out because his wife had spent $50 out of the household account, but they only have one account.
But you have already
and
had
I told
that
him
discussion.
I told him
many times about that.
3-pot.
Have a household account.
3-pot. I said, just get a 3-pot. That takes away that. No, but we never had a money
But you know
issue.
what I think? Sometimes I think that there are people who like the confusion and like having something to be upset about because it's not really the money. There's something else going on there that they don't really want to address. And so the money, $50 is enough to upset you. That something else is going on.
Yeah, but you bankrupted for $600, so it's 50.
But I bankrupt. That was myself. There was nobody else involved. I'm like, I couldn't handle it myself.
I wish I had been in there.
I know,
but I showed up.
You did.
I showed up. When I showed up, everything changed. Come on, somebody. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so primary problems when you have the difference in the money personalities you got. They avoid talking about it.
They don't talk about it
together. Or I got my money, you got your money, and never the two shall meet, and we don't.
That's another problem. Now we are saying 3-pot. That doesn't mean she got hers and I got mine. What we got is I've got an account. Her name is on my account. She knows where the money is, how much money is in that account. She has an account. I know where her money is. My name's on the account. But we have a household account.
But you know what? Really, when you look at it and everything is online, when you pull up our personal account, we see everything.
Yeah,
it's all connected.
No, but that hasn't been the way. Now it is, but that wasn't the way it was when we started. There was no internet.
It wasn't the internet.
But we trusted.
You
trusted each other. We showed each other the bank statements. Yes. We put them together. We talk about it. Communication.
Because we're in this together.
We in it to win it. Okay, we're a team. Okay.
So, avoiding the topic altogether, or maybe there's so many expenses and everything, you don't want the other person, your spouse, to know what's going on. Not preparing for the unexpected, which means not having any money saved, right?
Correct.
And not wanting to budget. For some people, the word budget or the word getting a plan is like, oh my God, I can't handle it. I just want to spend. I want to tell you about a girlfriend who I will just, so long as there's money in the account, then I can write a check on it.
Oh no, as long as I got checks in the checkbook. Oh, I still got checks in the checkbook. What do you mean it's overdrawn? That's what some people think that way.
But now, like our intern said the other day, well, I just think I have enough money and I'll just, so now you're not writing a check. You're using your debit card.
Right.
And you can get easily overdrawn. I was like, that is not a good idea. What do you mean? I think I have enough money. No. You need to look at your account to see how much money is in there before you use your debit card. I think there's enough.
Well, there are always lots of ways to do it on your phone now. There are apps that you can look at and say how much money is in there. And if you check that and keep some accounting of that, you won't be in this position where you're overdrawn or anything. Okay. Now let's talk about sex.
Having a financial plan.
Let's get to the sex. Let's get to the sex.
So then we talked about last week, we introduced sex.
Headaches
and other lies, that people don't tell the truth about sex. And with sex, with us, we're not talking about just the physical act, but the intimacy, the warm, the passionate feeling, and all that comes together as a part of being happily married and having your needs fulfilled within the marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we talked about what are some of the common problems that come up in the bedroom that people might not talk about, or that is uncomfortable. Ooh, that's where we started.
We were starting,
and so we're going to add this week, before you go down, we're going to add this week, as I looked at when we talk about intimacy, and I'd always talked about intimacy in terms of the love relationship, but there are different kinds of intimacy.
Oh, that research you did was fantastic.
So I want to introduce that. All right, so common problems.
Common problems that we hear a bunch of is no time for sex. Neither partner has time, make time for sex.
That seems to be a pretty common
That
one.
we hear that we're busy.
And there's several articles like the therapists, like there are a lot of now relationship therapists. I mean, it requires certificates and all the other kinds of stuff. Yeah. But they're relationship therapists and sex therapists. And one, for example, Rachel Sussman, which is a New York-based marriage counselor and therapist. And she's in sync with what some others are saying. No time for sex. No time for sex for married couples who even work from home together is that they don't make it a priority.
Right.
Now you have to look at why aren't you making your relationship, your intimacy a priority. Now sometimes
I can't figure out why they don't do that.
Sometimes one I like early morning sex. Somebody else, I mean, your partner might like evening sex. Okay, so you like it at different times.
Okay.
Can't you compromise?
Seems like you could.
And one of the counselors said, you know what? You might not compromise because it really becomes a power struggle. Which then took me to one of the couples that we talked
Linda
to.
and I saw him Saturday. I saw him at the gym.
The divorce lawyer?
Yes, I saw him. I saw him on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been married for 50 years. And he said that the secret to their marriage, and he tells all these people who are coming in for divorces as he drives away in his Bentley. He says, "I told them don't get, that here's the deal, but they want to get divorced. I'm not cheap. I charge a lot of money." And so he says the secret is share the power.
Mm-hmm.
Share the power. Hey, Ricky Sinkfield is here. Hey, Ricky from San Antonio. That's David's big brother. I've known Ricky since I was a little tyke. He lived up on Shepherd Street. He said, we share all accounts and tell our spouse about any transactions over the tripwire, which used to be 100, now it's more, but the amount is agreed to. That's good. Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Say that again.
We share all accounts and tell our spouse about any transactions over the tripwire, which used to be $100. Anything over $100, you got to take out. We talk about. Now it's more, but they agreed to it. That's good. And that's good to have you, Ricky. I think about you the other day. He's down in San Antonio last we spoke. I think he's still there. And so what we want to say to people is this: sex, money, and communication. So communication is the key. And one of the things about sex is people don't want to, they got no time for sex because they're busy. They take the kids to soccer.
Or it's an excuse.
Or it's an
so
excuse.
Then we can have a date night. It can be a sex night, but you make it a priority. He gets excited about everything.
I like that. A sex night. I'm with that.
So it's a date night where you're going to cuddle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And focus on each other.
Ooh.
All right? It doesn't mean the whole physical act. I'm not saying that.
No.
But you focus on each other and what's important. You listen and you touch. This your skin is the largest organ, sensitive organ that you have, right?
Yeah, so we touch each other.
Yes, you can do that. Yes.
And
yes. So let's go on. Let's not get in the weeds, okay?
All right.
Okay, one partner wants sex all the time and the other is not interested.
Or not interested all the time. One person is got a high libido. And one person,
you have a mixed matched sex drive.
Yes.
I think you probably could control that very well when you're dating. Because you're
in different places. Yeah,
you're
dating. It's different. And one of the things about dating is
you put your best foot forward. And you don't have bad breath.
You don't have bad breath. You don't have to show up with dirty drawers. All sorts of stuff. But when you're real life, you've got to make time. You got to take time. And talk about it. Just talk about it. Now, what happens when one wants it all the time, one doesn't? Then you got.
What happens when one is silent, doesn't communicate?
That's gonna be bad. It's not gonna work well.
And you think, well, how did that happen? How did you get married and one person talks and the other one doesn't?
Well, there are a lot of ingredients to that. One is that when you're dating, you're trying to really figure the people out. You want this to work. You might really want to get married. There's some people like, I gotta get married.
So that's the goal, and you don't look at some other things.
Yeah, you kind of get married. You close your eyes to everything else. This is the goal. This is my agenda item. Or I want to have a baby. Okay, I do. Everything else is out until the baby gets in, and hey, I don't feel like having sex, or I don't want to have sex. So that's a problem. You have to get therapy, or you have to have counseling on that. Let's go to the next
therapy, counseling. Okay, this is one you had. Not being satisfied. How is that different?
Well, you know what? We are seeing more and more women who are coming up with this one, that they're not satisfied in their sexual activity.
Oh, I do have to say, Dr. Carol Mussenden is a fabulous gynecologist. Okay. And I went for my gynecological visit, and we're always getting these discussions about sex. What's out there, lubricants, because you got to talk to somebody.
Yes.
And most people are not honest about those conversations, right? And she was saying that, finding that the majority of women don't have orgasms with their mates. That's what Dr. Mussenden said.
Wow. So what do they do about that?
Well, they use artificial.
Is that what she does?
Yes.
What?
And so we were actually talking about the fact that, most of these are married women, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about looking at developing a program where the wives could meet separately from their husbands, so we could have just open and honest conversation. Here's what's going on with me. Here's some suggestions, and just a safe space for women to share.
Wow.
Just a safe space for women to share. Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Wow.
And they had a program like that with a church group, and it was a bit challenging.
I'm telling you,
she's much more.
You know what? Church folks don't want to talk about open and honest. Church folks do. That's why I love this show. I love this show, and I want to hope y'all love it. And that's why y'all telling your friends. I'm a church guy. Okay, I'm a church guy. I'm a master's degree in theology, a doctorate in ministry, licensed minister, but I'm also a professional speaker and author, and I shoot straight, no chaser. Sex is important, and far too many church folks won't talk about the stuff that's breaking up church folks. Okay. Look at the second one.
Is the big difference when they expand.
No, the second one.
What?
Then how do church folk get pregnant? They won't talk about it, but they try.
Stumble up on
they
it.
stumble up on it.
I won't say they all do. Okay, let's not. Okay.
Glenn, thank you.
Okay. Next is pain.
Oh, Glenn says his wife has the same doctor as you. She's awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, go to the same church. Okay, we've been friends with them forever.
Yes, followed them from one.
All right. So what happens if there's pain in the sexual part?
You need to go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor. If there's a pain issue, go see a urologist. Go see a urologist.
Don't be ashamed.
Don't.
And the tendency is, this is according to Dr. Mussenden, is that men are less likely to talk about the sexual challenges or ED than women or sexual challenges.
I don't know if you have you ever heard of Peyronie's disease?
No.
Peyronie's disease, when there's a bending of the shaft, and it creates pain, and it's very challenging. So there's okay, and it never straightens up. It's like that.
Aww.
And it's painful, uncomfortable, and it's a form of ED. But there's a fix for that. Eddie Johnson told me he had a guy who came to him with Peyronie's disease. He gave him a natural fix for that. But there is a fix. Go see your urologist.
So if you're not willing to
talk about
yourself up and to talk about it, then you can't get any resolution.
Right.
Another one was physically ready but not emotionally ready, and that tends to be, in many instances, the difference between the men and the women. The men are more like microwaves, and the women are more like crock pots.
That's right.
And so the difference in men are more visual, and women are more auditory, and need to be persuaded romance with the words and the touching and the other things. Okay.
Some women. Some women.
Okay.
Okay. she look. Sometimes.
Willie.
I was going to say sometimes.
No. Let's go on.
I can't get in the room.
Willie.
Before she chasing me.
Come on, let's go to the next one, please. If there are issues with fantasies, here's another thing that according to many counselors, women complain about their husband having fantasies, or their male partners, whatever, have fantasies that
don't include them.
that they don't want to fulfill.
Okay. It's a little too wild for them. A little too wild.
We did not
dressing up in all sorts of weird
stuff. We did not go into detail in that. And if that's that uncomfortable, then you need to see a therapist. We keep saying, well, you need to see a therapist.
Well, look,
we need to go to the couch.
You need some. There's some of this stuff. And I've heard some stuff that you do need some therapy. And you know what it was like? It's like never can get satisfied with being out there. Okay, what's the newest out there? I mean, whether it's S&M and all that, we don't need none of that. I'm good with just being in the room. Okay.
Does your spouse? So here's the question I have: does your spouse bring out the excitement in you? How about that?
You bring out the excitement in me until I'm sleepy. I done worked all day, spoke 3-4 times.
So being with your spouse, I'm saying the question becomes, is being around and being with your spouse makes you excited, whether they're sleepy or not? Just being around them and wanting to touch them and being close to them.
Absolutely.
That's very important, right?
You turn me on.
So you need to ask yourself that question. If not, why not?
Yeah.
And then
can y'all work on that?
What can you do about that? Are you willing to work on that? Right?
What did Lynn say last week? What was it? Lynn? Costumation, or you wearing costumes or something?
She did say that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Costumes.
That was cool.
You know what?
What?
Wearing an apron in the kitchen, and that's all. How about that?
I'm with that. We got nobody up in here but us, okay? So
we didn't even get to the other part. Okay, so now that we've dealt with, okay, here's some challenges, right?
You know what time it is?
How do you resolve those challenges? It's 9:30. How do you resolve those challenges?
They're going to be a part 3.
You really have, what is your love language becomes important. Your love language. And that goes
Here's
back
my love language. That's something
that we talked about
bonjour. Bonsoir.
months ago. Gary Chapman and the 5 love languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a counselor. He's written all these books, but the love languages. What is your love language and what is your spouse's? And if you know that,
yeah,
right,
and it's time, it's touch, and it's quality time, it's touch, it's affirmations. Mm-hmm. I can't remember all of them.
Well, you got it all.
Words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and touch.
And so, which one do you like?
What is my love language?
Your love language is touch and gifts. You like toys.
But you don't give me toys often. It's quality time.
You have to remind me what toy to give you, because I never know.
Now yours are quality time. She likes quality time. I spend time with her. Like the other night. That wasn't even our date night. I'm working late. I work late. I'm on the phone. I got coaching.
What happened the other night?
Coaching clients. What happened
the other night?
Wednesday night. And you know Wednesday my late night. And I came up late. You was asleep. And you said the next morning, you didn't spend no time with me. I said, it's Wednesday night. You know I work late every Wednesday night. I got coaching folks. I got scripts. I got TV shows. You didn't spend any time with me. Now, Thursday is our date night.
Which meant for you to come and snuggle and hug and say, oh,
but
sweetie,
I'm working.
I know that. But the point is that I still wanted time to snuggle.
She did. Look, our time is up. We're gonna have to do part 3.
We're going to get to. We didn't get
to the 12 types of intimacy. And this is really good.
And the first type of intimacy, I'll just give you this one. It's a sexual intimacy, which is the one that we basically talk about.
But then 11 more. It's incredible what she came up with.
And once you see the other, you're gonna say, okay, now I'm gonna look at my relationship a little different. So intimacy is not just the sex.
It's not just the sex. We'll see you next week. Now,
have a
happy Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving. A couple of quick shout outs. I told my other son, Delatoro McNeil, I shot at his new book, Shift into a Higher Gear.
Why didn't you tell me that? And I would have brought up a picture of it.
I brought the book up. Shift into a Higher Gear is a great book. Just look up Delatoro. That's his first name, Delatoro McNeil. Shift into a Higher Gear. Great book. And if you're on my newsletter, which everybody should be, last week we did a whole campaign, but he's on my XM show this week. You can listen tomorrow night, Tuesday night.
Excellent information.
Oh, great interview. And Thursday
as
night.
we prepare for 2022 and goal setting. So shift into a higher gear says preparing yourself for the next level. 2022 and beyond.
Absolutely. Look, thank y'all for joining us. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Have a safe Thanksgiving.
And
wear those masks.
Wear those
You're
masks.
around people and you don't know if they've been triple vaxxed, as they said, please.
That's right. We are triple vaccinated, and my wife will ask a person in a heartbeat, "You vaccinated?" Before I sit down with you, you vaccinated? You not vaccinated? I'm not sitting down with you. And you know what? Smart, because we're trying to stay around here a while. Thank y'all. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving. And you know what? You got a lot to be thankful for, because God is good.
Share that.
And share with everybody.
Yes.
Gratitude, attitude. All right, look, this is Dr. Will. Hey, one more pitch. Go get the book. Go get the book. We don't get paid for this. We're trying to help marriages. But go get the book. Get 2 copies.
Sherry had her booster.
All right, Sherry. Get 2 copies of the book, 2 workbooks, audio book, and a CD seminar. It's all in a bundle. Get it at jollymarriage.com or ajollymarriage.com. Hey, our time is up. This is Dr. Willie Jolley and my beautiful bride, Dee Taylor-Jolley. Jolley out. Let's go out with some music. Close to you. Hope y'all enjoy.
I'll turn it off this time.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.